Good afternoon to one and all. So today we have with us Mr. Mohammed Asif Iqbal, an illustrious alumnus from the batch of 2005. He has had an exceptional career with PwC. After joining there as a consultant in 2005, he is currently the associate director at PwC India. Also, he appears regularly on eminent platforms such as NASSCOM and CII, to name a few. He is truly a personality with much to learn from. We at SCMHRD are truly honored to have you here. And now I invite our Associate Professor, Dr. Manish Sinha, to take the session forward.
Thank you, Tejas. Let me begin by saying that Asif, it is an honor for me. You know, you are always inspired by many students. We keep getting inspired by many students who study at SCMHRD. In fact, we have taken it as a given that SCMHRD students are going to be good. They inspire you through their knowledge capabilities, through their skills like administrative and managerial skills. But the kind of impression Mohammed Asif Iqbal has had on me during his days as a student here and thereafter as well is beyond inspiration. I remember the first time when Asif met me. I was at that time in charge of the hostels also, and he had joined as a new student. And he came in. I used to sit on the third floor. There were no lifts in the building. He came all by himself, and he stood right near my cabin, called out for me, and then whatever mundane issue it was, we talked about it, and then he left. And out of curiosity, I just followed him, and I saw how his steps were measured. He took absolutely the right turns. I mean, at that time, it was very surprising for me. And then at the stairs, he could simply follow the stairs and go down, uh, not seeking anybody's help in doing anything which he wanted to do. And somehow at that moment, I was convinced that here is a very independent kind of personality who's going to do something different in his career. And as I noted with admiration over the years after you passed out from SCMHRD, that you met many leaders like Abdul Kalam, Prime Minister Modi, and you have played your own role in shaping up governmental policies towards people with special abilities and people with disabilities. In fact, I was looking at the new education policy yesterday, and there was this thing about softwares for people with disabilities. And I immediately remembered in 2005 how Asif had come up with a software to the campus, and his entire study was based on that. He was championing the cause there. So, okay, we'll keep talking about this, but let me start uh, this interaction. Asif, a warm welcome to you. As I said,
Thank
it's an
you.
honor.
Thank
And
you, Manish sir. I mean, thank you for the nice long introduction. I'm not sure, but just for your viewers who doesn't know me, so Manish sir and I go way long. Probably my first mentor in SCMHRD, but for the viewers to make things clear, because Manish sir is talking about okay, he can walk by himself, but and if you are confused, make no mistake, I did lose my eyesight when I was 16 and I worked with the help of software on my laptop and cell phone. So, and coming back to SMHRD is like a homecoming, and it's like a going back to your own parents for your support, for your well-being, and sometimes you feel low, and then you look back to those wonderful memories, and that kind of gives you a great feelings and which eventually boost you up. Yes,
uh,
Manish.
Asif, if you can just adjust your camera a little bit because only half your face is appearing.
Okay, can
Uh,
you see me now, Manisha?
can you just bring it a little down, the camera, so
Okay,
that
let
your
me see.
face? Yeah, 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 yeah. This is
Is that
perfect.
better?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
Okay.
much better. So let me start with asking you, how has been your corporate journey so far? Tell us something about that.
Yeah, sure, Manisha. So, again, I would be lying that it was great and I've risen up the ladder and there was no challenges, no difficulties. That was because everything comes with its own set of challenges. And of course, I recall an incident when I was in PwC. It was 9 months in the year, and I was remember the time I wasn't made to be put on a client-facing role, and then I was doing mostly office backend research or getting information for a prospective clients or working on business development or proposals. But again, I the person that I am, I love people and I love clients, and I love being around people, and I love interacting with people and trying to solve the business problems. But this wasn't happening in my case. About 9 months, and the batchmates which has joined the same time as me, they were all in the projects, executing projects. They've done 2 or 3 projects, all on client facing, but I didn't have that opportunity for some reasons. So, but again, uh, you know me that I don't believe in status quo. I believe that you have to work diligently to create your own opportunity. And I approach my hires up, my top bosses, the bosses of my competency head. And believe me, he was very, very supportive, very, very things. He said, okay, let me try something else. So he changed my team. And when that team was changed and my boss became a lady, her name was Rachna Nath, who was a firm believer that I am an MBA from there. Manisha, can I just okay, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are. Please continue.
So, she was convinced of the fact that I did my MBA. She's fine that I have my there is a disability and all that, but she's convinced that I am much more capable than doing background research, and that is also important and stuff. Then she started talking to the clients before she started sending. Okay, we have a team member who cannot see, but there is no compromise on deliverable. And she would have a word with the clients well in advance. And I remember my first client, it was a jewelry retailer chain, and I was sent across to do process re-engineering type of work. And then I finished that assignment. She would talk to the other clients and then get their buy-in, and then and there was a point that she even let me manage few projects. I was actually a project manager. The only thing happened because she believed, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I made lots of mistakes. I failed a lots of time. And she would also yell at me. She would, and now hindsight, when I look at that, I think she was absolutely correct. I mean, and she told me that I'm not going to treat you anything different. I'm going to treat you normal and I have the same amount of expectation. The only thing different I'm going to do is I'm just going to facilitate more opportunities where you can showcase your ability. So, and then I had another powerful mentor in the firm, which actually became my line of service or of my competency head. Her name is Satyavati Varera. She's the chief operating officer for PwC India now. She also believed in my potentials, believed in my capabilities, and she encouraged me to go look for engagement or project engagement outside my domain. So I was only doing technology at that time. Then she encouraged me to look towards e-governance and other aspects, and I started getting deputed there, and plenty of opportunities. So of course, I would not say that it's very easy. I mean, one project is over and I get into a new project. Of course, we are all part of the society. We all have an unbiased, unconscious bias, and there's still, being after 14 years, we still have to convince that yes, I can deliver value. Yes, I can be an asset to an organization, but nevertheless, I think every one of us has challenges. Maybe the intensity of challenges may be a little higher in my case, but I'm sure every one of us has challenges and we have to overcome those challenges. Thank you, Manish sir.
Nice, nice. Asif, right now our fresh batch of students have joined in the college, and they are in the process of choosing their specializations or at least deciding on it. So I want to ask you, I think you chose HR, right? HR was your special. So why did you choose that particular specialization? And how has it helped you, that kind of choice?
Well, Manish sir, honestly speaking, there was a different motivation because my mom in the US, she was an HR lady.
Mm-hmm.
So I was inspired by that HR. And when I did my HR, absolutely sometimes you have, in my case, unfortunately, it helped me to a level, but I started my career with technology. I was looking at technology restructuring. I was looking for IT fitment or ERP solutions, or then I moved on because I was passionate about HR. Then I moved on with HR consulting. And then, where I was actually setting up HR department from the scratch and for family-based enterprises. But again, the team was resolved, and then I was moved back to the e-governance space. So, of course, the HR piece was helpful. That is my skill set, I can still say. And I still do assignments for HR when there is a needs, like I would say the assessment centers and all that. So, for the students, what would I decide? I mean, see, it is all depends on what your interest areas are. I mean, again, see, Manish sir, whether we like it or not, but I can probably say it with confidence that whatever I studied in SCMHRD, I probably used only 30 or 40% of it. Rest, it is all on the job trainings. Rest, because the technology is changing.
Right.
The workplace is dynamic. The solution which will work in 2005 will not work in 2020. The solution which will work in 2020 may not work in 2010.
True.
So, what the only thing is, we have to have that foundation. I mean, this is what SCMHRD did to me was up as it has placed a strong foundation to build up my next floors of the building. And to all the freshers, we all loved our MBA days. We all loved, but please make your mindset that you're keen on learning, upskilling, because that is the mantra nowadays. And especially, who would have thought about 1 year back that we would all be working from home?
True.
Who would have thought that the organization would revisit their policies of lowering their or reducing their office space or the retail space, you know but that is the new normal, and we have to continuously upskill ourselves. So again, when you are choosing streams, be aware of all this constraint, because I think COVID-19 has taught us a lot of things. I'm sure Manish sir, it has taught
True.
our students a lot of things as well.
So that brings me to the next question about your learning at SMHRD. when I talk to all the alumni, they say that SCMHRD is an experience
Mm.
where knowledge, as you said, whatever you learned in terms of knowledge, or you could apply only 30% of it. But when you look at the overall experience of being at SCMHRD, how has that helped you?
Oh, very much. I mean, so again, I would like to pay my, you know, gratitude to Professor Pillai, who is no longer there,
Mm.
and of course Vidya ma'am and Dr. Majindar, who I still respect and I still visit whenever I am in Pune. But see what a CMHRD experience has taught me is to have that ability to be the resilience to battle any problems. If this, okay, let's say whether it is at home or at work, but what what I have learned from SMHRD's experience, that surprises will be there, but it is how you deal with those surprises, how you come up with a solution. We would be living in a fool's world if we did not have any challenges or problems. Just looking back, Manish sir, just imagine,
Yeah.
would I now, after 15 years in the corporate, would I take time out to go for a Vipassana? Probably no. Would I take time out to learn art of living course? Probably no.
Yeah.
But those are the wonderful courses that I've done,
Mm.
wonderful experiences, that outbound learning, that practicals or listening to the, and the committees, yeah, different types of committee. I'm sure SMS Charity still would have different type of committees, right?
Yeah.
The event management, all of those things. So that actually teaches you the practical aspect of life, which I feel not only it helps us in professional life, but definitely also help us in personal life. Relationship. When I was a part of the placement team, maybe not in the front, but in the back end, one of the things that we did is we managed relationship, which colleges has built over years. And these are the learnings that we are still able to use in our life. Manisa.
Yeah. So, I would really like to ask you, and I have been a part of your journey at SMHRD. What has been, or what is your fondest memory of your stay at SMHRD? There must be many, so you can
Oh,
take us through
there must
it.
there must be many memories, and I'll share two of them actually.
Sure.
One, we went, I think, the highest peak in Maharashtra,
Yes, yes. Kalsuba.
and Pillai sir, all of a sudden he just came back one night and he said, "Tomorrow you are going to lead the entire batch." Everyone was blindfolded. They were paired up. One was blindfolded and one was not blindfolded. And I was actually leading the entire batch, and I am physically blind anyways. But and the condition that Pillai sir put us, that he said, we will not talk or speak during this path. I think it was about 30 to 35 minutes, and I can remember the moments. Few of my batchmates were actually emotional. They said that they never even imagined this kind of experience that they would been. What, just enjoying the quiet, just enjoying and trusting each others. So that was one of the best memories that I have. The second memories, I think this was the fun memories, Manish sir. I don't know whether you remember, but I remember very well. I think some people has complained to you that I was drinking alcohol, and then you came to me in my room and asked me, Asif, I heard that you drink, and I said, yes, sir, I drink. Here is the water. Here's the Diet Coke. And then you will started laughing, and he said, "No, I heard that you drink alcohol." I said, "No, no, sir. That is anyway. It is my against my religion to drink, but I of course I drink Diet Coke and Coke because I was singing a song
Mhm.
with my batchmates. So somebody came out and probably thought that I was drunk, but I thought that was funny.
I remember both the incidents. In fact, the trek part that you have described, it was very, very dangerous. Before you started leading us all, my heart was in my mouth. But then it was a great exercise in establishing trust, as you correctly said. So that was some experience for me as well at that time. Uh, Asif, I also wanted to ask you, although you are yourself a part of the diverse culture that India should have, but your opinion on how diversity plays a role in the betterment of an organization.
Very good, great question, Manish. As a matter of fact, yesterday I was a part of a panel discussion of SHRM, and there was a global CEO of Mastercard, Ajay Banga,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
and Ajay Banga, he was mentioning the fact they were four like awarded them diversity and inclusion champions, and he said one thing very simple. If we didn't have, if we had the same people of the same ability, the same school or the same college or the same community, we would have probably not progressed or had a profitable business. We would have stuck. So for us, diversity is not a nice thing to do, but it makes business imperative. We were forced to do it because it had a business impact of it.
Mhm.
So now let's come back to my company in PwC. So we have a very famous saying, and he firmly believed by our global CEO of PwC, Bob Moritz, that in PwC we have two assets: one clients that we serve, and the other is the people. And if we do not have a diverse set of people, we will be out of the business. Full stop. So
Okay.
what I'm trying to drive at that diversity, of course, whether we look at research of Harvard or INSEAD, it has been seen and has been researched that diverse companies are more profitable, more innovative, and they have more unique products and services, which caters to all customers across the market. However, in India, it is slowly catching on, but I'm sad to say that's still a lip service in some. But we also have an outstanding examples. But we just a journey which is just initiated, and we have to go long ways. So I think we are initiated, but we still have a long way to go.
Mhm.
Thank you, Manisha.
Thank you, Asif. That's very nice. Uh, Asif, I have always been intrigued, and this is a good platform to ask you that question because I remember the days when you were about to join, and this was the first time that SCMHRD was taking a student with visual impairment, and not everybody believed that this can be done, and you came at that point in time. It was some people were were sort of reluctant also amongst the, the faculty team to have a student like that. Now the world has evolved a lot, but I am sure that you must have faced a lot of these things, and you must have had your moments of depression. But one thing that defined you even during those times when you were a student was that you were very, very optimistic. You were always ready to fight. Uh, so that is one ability I noticed from far. But how have you yourself dealt with your moments of despair?
Very good question, Manish sir. And again, I'm just saying, okay, after at this level, and I have to go again far in terms of my career, but uh, I cannot say that every moment is a great moment, and it should not be that way. Otherwise, there's no point of living life. So there are low times, but again, when you get extremely, low and you feel, okay, my goodness, how long I have to continue to battle or struggle. But one thing that really, really cheers me up, that I look at my past, I look at my history, and I've been through the worst of the whole lot. Even getting admission into SCMHRD, even getting a placement in with a company, that all was a challenge. If I could overcome them, I'm sure I can overcome this.
Mhm.
So again, I once again reiterate, the challenges are there in everybody's life.
Mhm.
But intensity of challenges might be a little different. The severity might be a little up and low in everybody's life. But I think we have to focus on those positive achievements, what we have done in the past, whether it was running a race or whether it was, something that can boost us up. So that's exactly what kind of brings me back to the gear. And
Mhm.
Manisha, I would not be lying. I mean, sometimes it takes me longer than usual to get back to the gear. But yes, I definitely have my low time, and I continue to have my low time. But again, looking back is what triggers me up. Yeah, I have to do it. I can do it.
Mhm. Mhm. That's very nice because the students as of now, whoever is watching this, will definitely get inspired because everybody has their share of despondency and despair. Uh, so this is a question related to your company. How is your company dealing with the current COVID-19 situation?
Oh, the best thing about PwC is they have invested in technology. So we are all using Google Suites. We're all, and before this COVID-19, so they did one great thing was they had something called business continue plan testing. So actually, they gave us a mandatory work from home for one day, and they wanted to try out how it would respond. And so, because of this robust technology, all we can do is we can just switch on our laptop and start working. We don't even have to log on to VPN or anything like that. It is just as easy, as seamless, and we are using Google Suites. So then another great thing is that the chairman wrote us a mail that, okay, we are going through some tough time. It's a constant communication by our leadership that we're going through some tough times. Our partners who are at the top, executive directors and the partners in the companies, they have taken a pay cut. So but one great, you know, which made us really, really feel comfortable. He announced to us that we will not have any layoff or job cut in the next 6 months or so. So we were extremely, at least, comfortable. And then right now, because I belong to technology consulting, so now in the COVID-19, whether everything slows down, but the technology is one piece which is actually moving up in terms of revenue. So there are work coming, fortunately, and what one another great thing that PwC did, I'm sure the other organizations are doing, is we also got a COVID-19 coverage as part of our group cover insurance. So if we get impacted, so we have that cover where employees, and we could pay premium, get our family also covered. So we have, so that is also another comforting measures which is taken by PwC, which actually have one less things to worry about during this time. Manisha.
Right, right. Okay, Asif, let me ask you. a pontificating question. If you have to, do everything again, go back in time and do everything again, what are the things you're going to change?
Okay, if I gone back, probably Manish sir, I think I had too much fun in my MBA days. I think I would rather go back and I would prioritize that fun times and I would focus on more on building foundations.
Okay.
Then my foundation could have been much more stronger
Mhm,
if I would have invested that time towards learning. But again, we should have fun. There's no two ways about it.
mhm,
But the ratio of fun, I mean, maybe I was doing 70/30. That was not good on my part. I mean, that is something that I would like to change or relook. Is probably ratio should be maybe 60/40 because
mhm,
at the end of the day, we paid
mhm,
the money to get into that, and we should we our objective was to build a strong foundation, and that is one thing that I would love to go back and change it if it is and advice to the freshers, have fun, no problems, have a great time because this 2 years is going to be a really, really memorable one. But again, please remember the ratio of having fun versus learning. So, and remember, you are there to build a foundation. And if you build a shaky foundation, it is going to collapse. If you build a strong foundations, you are even going to navigate through turbulent times.
mhm.
Thank you, Manisha.
That's a very, very nice and sound advice you've given to the batch. And that was going to be my next question as to any other advice you would like to give to them. So apart from this, anything else you want to
Yeah,
tell them? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, Manisha. So I don't know whether you are aware that I run now, Manisha, right?
Oh wow, that's very nice. I
So,
can
Manisha,
see that. There's
oh, thank you, Manisha.
definitely.
So of course, Pillai sir always used to tell me lose weight. Dr. Karthik San sir would also say lose weight. Dr. Majumdar sir would also say, but I was too happy and glorified myself with food, and I had to suffer the consequences when I became 108, which was like, and then I had a hypertension. Then at that time, I said, no, I have to do a lot in life. I cannot live life without a poor foundation. And health is one of the pillar which builds a strong foundation of yourself, right? So then I started running, and I used to run with holding hand of my fellow runner. But now, Manish sir, you would be happy to know that I run without holding people's hand and just on a verbal instruction. So my fellow runner on the right, he will say, okay, there's a bad patch of road, there's a
Okay.
speed bump coming, you have to slide right, slide left, and I ran just perfect last Sunday itself. I ran 10 kilometers in 88 minutes,
Wow.
Manisha.
Wow.
And
That's
this year
very
I'm planning to do 21K, if marathon takes place, of course. And Manisha, from 108, now I'm 84, Manisha.
great. Great.
And I think you can probably see that evidence,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Right,
Yes,
Manisha?
absolutely. It's evidence because I've seen you in your
Uh,
MBA days also. So
Correct, correct,
great,
correct.
great.
So, Manisha, so my advice, I know because see, now we are all living in COVID-19 era. And whether we like it or not, health is a top priority, not only for us, but people across the world. And for this, we all have to realize that we have to inculcate the habit of exercise. I
Mhm.
don't know whether SCMHRD still have that yoga and workout. If not,
Yes.
Manish sir, I would highly recommend that that should be started once again
Right.
because we need to ensure that we have some kind of fitness ingrained in our schedule.
Mhm.
Because suppose you don't have exercises, imagine you collapse. I mean, just me, my two people are dependent on me. Suppose if you collapse, and something, God forbid, something happens to you, you're disrupting the entire family chain,
True.
and that is the toughest thing of on the family. So Pillai sir always used to say, I mean, that health is a top priority.
Mhm.
And I would urge all the freshers, please start with 15 minutes of whatever exercise you can do, gradually build up to 45 minutes, but do build this up in your routine. Trust me, you will not regret. I can give you thousands of examples, like, who leads the Tata Sons right now? Chandrasekhar, I think. He is a marathon runner. He runs every day. Just imagine the schedule that he would be having every day. But he still takes time out to do exercise. And whoever is at the top, I can guarantee you that they're all exercising, because this is one of the pillars. So please, I know it's tough. Lethargic is our biggest enemies. Procrastination is our biggest enemies. But remember, tomorrow never comes. So please start exercising from today onward. And you will thank me probably 5 years down the line.
True.
Thank you, Manish.
That's a great uh, Asif, not only for the students, but for a person like me also, that exercise is absolutely, there's no doubt about it. It's very, very important.
Absolutely. Just
Uh,
imagine, Manish sir, I mean, I started exercising, I mean, diligently after 40. I mean, of course,
mm,
after SCMHRDs,
mhm,
I also walked on the straight path. I didn't have late nights, would get up late, and, you know, of course, I gained weight. Food was great. But
mhm,
it's when you realize,
mhm.
it's like when you wake up, it's daytime. So when you
Yeah,
realize the value, you should immediately act on it.
true.
And I can vouch for it because I myself have lost 24 kg.
That's some
और
achievement.
आपको याद भी होगा मनीष सर कि I love food.
Yeah,
I still love food.
yeah.
हाँ,
Great, great, Asif. It has been a very enjoyable discussion with you. And, observing you, I don't know, whenever I meet you, I'm often reminded of a couplet which I read during my student days. And the couplet is in Hindi. It says, uh, सीढ़ियां उनके लिए अमोघ जिन्हें बस छत तक जाना है बादलों पर है जिनकी दृष्टि उन्हें पथ आप बनाना है which basically translated means that you require stairs for only those who want to go up till the terrace, but those who aim for the clouds, they have to make their own path, and your life is an example of that couplet.
मैं एक कहूँ भाई, इसी पे है, उर्दू पे है आई थिंक इसका
Yes, yes.
ट्रांसलेशन.
Please, please.
सीढ़ियों उन्हों की मुबारक हो जिनकी मंजिल छत तक है.
Yes, yes.
सीढ़ियों उन्हीं को मुबारक हो जिनकी मंजिल छत तक है. बट
Mhm.
यार, हमारी मंजिल तो आसमान है, रास्ते खुद बना लेंगे.
Very nice. Very nice.
तो
So you
just
resonate with
remind,
that. So,
uh,
thank you very much. It was one of the most enjoyable
thank you
discussions.
sir,
Thank you for taking time
and
out and talking to us. I'm sure all those who are watching it, whether alumni or our current batch, they are going to be benefited a lot by your experiences. Thank you so much, Asif.
thank you sir, thank you.
Tejas?
Yeah, yes, sir. So, Asif, we express our heartfelt gratitude for
Uh-huh.
rendering your valuable insights and also for taking time out of your busy schedule for this session. It
Really,
was, it was
thank you
really
मनीष सर.
inspiring
Yes.
मनीष
to, yeah.
Yes.
मनीष सर, हम लोग जब नॉर्मल आ जाएगा ना, तो we'll do a physical session too sir, actually.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. We are going to do that.
So it was very inspiring to hear you share your experiences in SCMHRD as well as throughout your corporate journey. We are sure the current batch would find it extremely helpful the way you look at challenges and then overcome them. This would be something they would look into for all their future endeavors. We SCMHRD hope to have you on board with us for all future engagements as well. Also, thank you, Manish sir, for making this interview session very intriguing as well.